actual play last week, so
Right.
I have done a
You've hit
stream.
them all.
It hasn't come out yet, but it's streamed.
All right.
We'll count it still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, friends.
Oh no, we're live and there's no music.
You don't hear it?
Nope.
No.
Why do I hear it and you do not?
That is a mystery.
Do you not hear, friends, can you hear us?
That's an even more important question.
Yes.
I can hear you.
This is so strange.
Welcome to our seance. Are you here? Do you hear us?
Talk about a cold open. What in the heck? We had a power outage, and so
Okay. Well,
it made everything. You can hear me and no music.
And no music.
Okay. Well, which is it's my opportunity to sing for everybody.
Gosh, Raymond, there's no pleasing you. Like, we're on time, we're late.
I know. Look at that. They're on time once again. It's so funny because I absolutely do hear the music, and so I'm on a different.
Well, we're just going to assume the music is real, Troy, because you say so.
That's right. Believe me, friend.
Is
the
any of
voices
this real?
are real.
Or are we all existing in Troy's mind? And that's why Troy's the only disembodied one.
Right.
I don't know how you should feel about that, but
I feel a way about it, let me tell you.
Yeah. I think it would be a little uncomfy. But listen, friends,
I hope I would like myself more in your mindscape than in mine.
I bet you would. You would, because I have nothing but the highest of esteems for you. So, you'll enjoy it. Hey, let's do this. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
And the music just ended, though you didn't hear it.
Right. But how would we know?
How would you know, right? Unless I told you. Hey, hello to you, SC Pilot. Let's see. We can hear you, no music. Raymond says, hits Nate with an anime mallet for putting that mental image into the head. Option not have gone. Oh, no, I'm not going to read that out loud.
Read them first before you read them out loud.
I know, right? Gee, mini cricket.
We read with our voice.
Devious, of course, is here. Good to see you. Our friend Julio is here. Good to see you as well. We talked about Raymond. Mastermind Pook says, happy Moomamo superfam. And Devious, he only has low esteems for me. I have the highest of esteems.
Yes.
I am Steam. Let's see. Claude says, we're all but a figment on the great old one. The great old one, Troy, the great old one, like I'm some kind of cosmic monster. Maybe I am. Let's see. Shut up, David Volak says, wait, it's only one after. David says, no, I can't hear any of you. Okay, good.
Okay.
I think you might be pulling our leg. Hey, it's the 4E playtest update episode.
Yes.
Boy,
yes,
things have been hopping, huh, Steve? I mean,
right? Can you believe that we announced 4E only, what is it, 4 weeks ago? 5 weeks ago?
Really? Was it 5 weeks ago?
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting. 6 weeks ago. 6
weeks ago. I gotta say too.
6 months ago.
Just to take a moment to toot our own horn.
Right.
I really did enjoy the fact that when it was time, there might have been a hiccup or two getting the book into people's hands, but I'm getting reports from across the web that people are getting their copies.
Yes.
And they're opening them and talking about how well they're packaged. And that's great stuff.
Excellent.
But to go from announcement to hard copy playtest in your inbox or in your mailbox rather.
Yeah.
In 6 weeks that's an impressive turnaround.
Not
and
bad.
There was a lot of work went into it. I mean, we had our Cape and Cal Club testing it and running it through all of its paces.
Yep.
All of them so excited about it and unable to say a word. To watch them squirm when we were doing
I know, but they were so good. Everybody upheld their NDA.
Yes, absolutely.
Kept things top secret. I was very impressed.
Yeah,
I'm glad I was not the only person suffering.
They were definitely suffering. It was I live on that. I mean, that's my fuel for sure. But both you and Alex been powering through feedback and processing all the the stuff coming in, and feedback is kind of this interesting mixed bag, because I think that people may come from another experience and kind of imprint. They start out adversarial, which is sometimes interesting to kind of parse, and then they kind of catch the vibe and start providing great feedback that's not about let's get into a fist fight. Oh yeah, GM Jonesy's true, with Gen Con in the middle of it.
In the middle of it, yes.
Truth. Yeah, absolutely. Voight says, I'm waiting for the final version to get a full release, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Glad to hear so.
Indeed.
Missouri loves company. I don't think they do. Troy lives on suffering. It's good to laugh again. But yeah, so we're talking about the feedback episode, and
yes,
should we open with let me see if I can share. Not that, not this, not that. This. What happens
Sound
to you
Troy
two when I share
tabs.
this? There we go. That's exactly right. Look at this. This
our brand new feedback hub.
Yeah, we opened it up this weekend, and it is the place for you to come to enjoy feedback and to sharing and the reading and so the way that we've got it set up is that you can come in here, you can check out the feed. There are challenges, and the challenges are not your standard issue like, oh no, I can't play it because I have a challenge, but this is a create a character, convert a character, adapt a character, and as you do these, the more that you do, generally speaking, if you're engaged and involved, let's say you've been engaged and involved up to now, you'll be listed in the credits.
Yeah.
And we're happy to do that. So you want to get in here and play around with those challenges. You get the playtest updates here. That'll be updates from Steve and Alex on all kinds of stuff. We've got the survey up here. This is something that you want to get in and fill out right away. As soon as you can, as soon as you've done some stuff. Now, here's the thing.
Right.
Make it real clear. We're not just looking for your detached opinion as somebody reading, and we want your experiences. So we want you to create a character, and we want you. So doing the challenge stuff makes it so that your feedback has context, and we can really, it is. Edge cases are fun, and they're a nice little kind of sort of intellectual exercise. But what really keeps a playtest moving is practical reporting.
Yes, absolutely.
And so make sure, so get in there and do that. Of course, I know that you folks want to. I know that you're not just picking up the book just to give some criticisms. There's a whole internet for that. We want your, your notes on your experience. And here's the whole chat area comparing notes and folks talking about all kinds of good stuff. Even though it's just opened up, it's got a lot of stuff going on here. And so I'm going to drop a link in chat. And if you're not part of the Atomic Think Tank, get thee to the tank.
Yes. Hey, Tempo.
Get in there.
The cover for the Origin Edition is indeed a placeholder. It is a lovely collage designed by our own Hal Mangold, but it is only for the playtest edition. We have a new cover in the works for the Hero's Handbook that I am going to torture Alex by telling him that he can't talk about.
It's so good.
That's Steve.
The best. I love that. I love it indeed. It feeds me.
I will suffer in silence.
Let's see. I've noted how the 4E playtest book doesn't have a read-all for comprehend. Yeah.
Yes. We're going to talk a little bit about all of that and the things people have noted.
Absolutely. And so, friends, do me a favor. And, I know, Squire, that's so crazy. 557, which I don't know why it's that many. I'm there, but I do get all the notifications for everything that anybody does ever. And I wanted to turn them off, but I do want to know when things are going on. And so it's a hard choice between fire hose or, It
is the struggle of our age, the desire, the conflict between the desire to remain informed and in the loop and to retain your sanity.
That's exactly right. Tempo says, looking forward to a new cover.
Us too.
You're going to
Everybody should be.
It's going to be great.
That is true. It's not my suffering, Bernard. It's the suffering of others. And, suffering might be a little strong. I mean, though it does apply.
Indeed.
But, yep. Okay, well, so there's a place for you to share all your
Yes.
feedback and practical experience playing the game, and also to bring your questions. If you've got some edge case stuff, or you think you've run into something that doesn't quite add up, that's where you go
Yes.
and now here's the thing. You are welcome, very much welcome, and encouraged to talk about all of this stuff in your personal communities. You're welcome to talk about it in a tweet or a Facebook post or whatever it is you're doing. You are welcome to do so. Just note that, and if we catch it, we catch it, but we may not. And so to be doubly sure, bring your conversations, your debates, your discussions into the Atomic Think Tank and drop it into the feedback hub so that we can be 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing too is we may presume, if we come across your feedback out in the wild, we may presume that you've already shared it in the tank, because that's where it goes. So,
Yes.
Go to atomicthinktank.com, sign up if you're not already signed up, provide some feedback. And then, we have a little, in that compare notes section, it's a great place for you to debate with other people what you think or what you love or what you whatever. And note that while that's interesting and fun, we don't always have the luxury of going in down the rabbit hole on certain features or things or ideas or notions. And one thing I can guarantee is that we're reading every bit of feedback. Like and so there you go. That is that. Now we can get on to the business of talking about what updates and other things like that, and also your questions as well.
Yes.
So Bernard, exactly. Become part of the Cape and Cal.
Yes.
The Cape and Cal Club. They were aware of this some time ago. And
yes, we will note that the membership portion of the Atomic Think Tank, most of the Atomic Think Tank is free, including our playtest area, and will remain so for our community. We do have a paid area of the Atomic Think Tank called the Cape and Cowl Club for Mutants and Masterminds subscribers. That is where our alpha playtest took place for 4th edition. That is where some occasionally more intensified or focused playtest discussion will take place when we just need to have our, alpha playtesters weigh in on things that doesn't necessarily need to be thrown open to the whole world. So far as that goes. In addition to that, we also have additional content like the M&M Mix-Up adventure outlines. I just finished this week's, which is going up, I think, Wednesday.
I'm excited to see what you came up with, Steve. That was a pretty interesting combination.
It is, and I'm actually pretty happy with what it came out as. So it should be fun.
It's also where we source the players for our actual play. So if you want to play with, usually me, sometimes Steve, you can jump in there, and once a month or so, we get players together to play a game.
Yeah, and we also do the Pinewood Project, which I think we meet this Friday. Is that right?
That's what's on my schedule.
Yeah, I believe that is the case. But yeah, which is a phenomenal opportunity to sit down with the two of you and learn the nuts and bolts of publishing a TTRPG. It's really it's intensive, it's interesting, it's informative, and it's also substantive. It's like there's some real work going on here, and I really have enjoyed the whole process. I've learned a lot, and folks who are participating have as well. So a lot of fun, and you get all that stuff for $8 a month.
Hey, Troy, David Bullock also mentions the grad. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
I do, yeah. So the Green Ronin Atomic Assembly Discord. Now that is, it's old. You've heard of it before. It's been around for some time now, but it's new.
I didn't know what the acronym stood for, so thank you for that, Troy.
It used to be the All Ages Discord. It was a focus on the adventure game engine games. Now it's expanded its reach. It's talking about all of our games, including Mutants and Masterminds. And it's official. It's our official space.
Discord, yes, indeed.
That's right. It's the official Green Ronin Discord. and you can come and hang out and ask a bunch of questions there. We fielded some today, just all kinds of stuff. But we're also on Wednesday, August 20th, which is only 2 days away. Ian Lemke is coming to put together a developing encounters. Basically, it's going to be a workshop on how to write encounters for TTRPGs.
That's awesome.
And it's in partnership with our friends over at the Expanse RPG fan community. And they are basically, we've got the one-page adventure jam that comes up that they just have some fun, and they kind of create stuff for the Expanse. And it is, let me see, it'll be noon on Wednesday, noon my time. And so it should be just a ton of fun, and we're doing it in Discord. And so I'm going to share a link with you all. Check it out and party, and it will be a blast.
Yeah. Ian is a terrific developer, so he will have a lot of interesting things to say.
Absolutely, yeah. And Ian works on The Expanse and Cthulhu Awakens, and so he's got a little spooky edge to him, and you'll enjoy it. He's a great speaker and has been doing this for some time. He's got roots way back at the outset of the hobby, not the 70s really, but he's out there he was doing the Vampire the Masquerade LARPs or something.
Yeah, Ian used to work for White Wolf back in the 90s.
That's right. So deep roots, and it should be a lot of fun. So jump in there, and it's not, you don't have to love The Expanse to learn something from this. But if you don't love The Expanse, I got to question your taste.
Right.
Awesome. So there we go. Some little infomercial for you, friends. What will you do Freedom City for 4th edition?
Yes, although I can't tell you that it will be a Freedom City book, but Freedom City will appear for 4th edition.
Under its new name, Fordham City.
Yes, as Troy keeps saying.
As I'm trying to make work out. Okay, so, all right, well, let's
Squire did ask if we would do the Arctic Fox as the cover.
David, however, I will note that I didn't say there wouldn't be a complete setting reboot.
Right.
That's right.
Okay.
Awesome.
Do we want to talk on updates?
Yeah, I think we've got, I'm trying to think of other updates. I have some for, mid-show or end of show, really, but we do have, on the 23rd, we have our engine launch.
I meant playtest updates, but yes.
Oh, no, sorry. I think we're good with playtest updates as far as that goes.
Okay.
That's what the episode's about, Troy.
No, I mean my update, like my updates from the tank.
Okay.
Communication. I'm a little ill. I had food poisoning yesterday.
Oh no!
I'm dragging wagon. So if I sound a little like I'm off in the weeds, it's because I am.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, no worries. But I feel better. Let's dive into the meat of the matter.
Okay. I am going to run through my current list of notable Origin Edition updates. I will preface this by saying we have gotten a lot of feedback, well over 600 posts and comments.
Whoa!
So, if I don't mention your particular thing, please note that we have read them all. We have taken notes on everything, and we are paying very close attention to all your feedback. I am just going to hit on a few of the highlights and notable things, especially things that people have noted multiple times, just so we can make sure that folks are aware that we are aware.
Nice. And so what that means then too is once you know that we know, then you can move on, friends. Like you can stop bringing it to the conversation and reporting it, as something that you have an issue with, because it's in the hopper.
And we're working on getting more detailed information for everybody.
Yes.
That will be available in the playtest area, so you have a sense of where things are progressing. But this is just a quick overview of where we are, so far as that goes. Okay, so starting from the beginning, In Chapter 1, we are aware the metric measurements table is off. It's a typo. Its columns are off by a row. They just need to be bumped up. We're going to fix it. We really appreciate there have been some great suggestions for additions to the benchmarks table. Please keep them coming. Honestly, we have enough that I'm not sure they'll all be incorporated because some of them are quite voluminous. But we will definitely pick and choose some of the best ones. And who knows, at some point we'll look at maybe doing an expanded benchmarks table or something like that when we have even more room for it. But definitely keep some suggestions coming. We can always take a look at them and see what our best options are. There was a question about some of the phrasing, making it sound like menaces. For folks who are aware of the menace option from Chapter 1, are all the NPCs who are not minions. That is not correct. Menace is a special status just like minion. It's applied to specific characters, and it doesn't necessarily mean everybody else. That would be a really unfortunate campaign if everybody was either a minion or a menace.
Yeah. I think we need a third category, Steve, like run of the mill.
Right.
Just a little guy.
There has been a lot of helpful feedback on the archetypes in the hero creation chapter, and that has all been noted. I will note that although that feedback is helpful, it is not as important as some other stuff because once the rules have all been finalized, the archetypes are all going to have to be redone from scratch anyway. So keep in mind that the archetypes are going to be all redone. Gene, we will absolutely show off some of the new art for the new edition when there is art. We are well before that point, so it's going to be a while before there is going to be any new art. But when there is, and we can show it off, we absolutely will, because we'll be super excited to do that.
Yeah.
Many folks have noted some confusion about the size table, and we will be making some adjustments to make it clear that most of its information is primarily suggested, and to make it clear how all of that works. In the skills chapter, we have noted that there's a desire for more definition between broad and narrow or specialized expertise skills, and we're taking a look at that. And we've noted that there's some confusion about the languages skill, particularly when its rank versus its bonus would be used. And we are taking a look at clarifying that text, as well as adding some options about making language skill checks for characters who have a lot of ranks in language to comprehend things that are related to languages they know, or just the chance that because they're so broadly skilled in the area that they might be able to pick up on the meanings of things, those kinds of things. We have noted that some feel the disguise skill is too narrow, and are looking at that as well. Lots of feedback on the advantages chapter, particularly on the limits of command and heroic advantages. We have definitely heard the feedback that many people are concerned evasion is too effective, and we're looking at that more closely. There is some lingering text mentioning the former fast grab advantage, which does not exist in the playtest edition. It's just a leftover typo from an earlier draft. So please ignore it. It will be excised. And there have been many questions about the lack of the move by action advantage, as folks may have inferred. But again, we will clarify the language. Right now, the way the rules are written in the playtest edition, Basically, everybody can do move bys. You can split up your movement speed however you want during your turn, before or after your standard action if you want. And so theoretically, everybody can do it. We are going to look into if additional refinement of that is needed. We've already been talking about some things in relationship with the reaction option during the character's turn for the interactions of that. More lists, index, and tables. Okay, well, we'll see what we can do. We already have quite a lot, and the appendix is loaded with them, but we will keep that in mind. We will do what we can, and of course, the final book will have an index as well, but it's also just going to be a matter of page count. All right. The powers chapter, we have noted that there are some issues with the weaken configuration for affliction. That is under review. For the many folks who have mentioned it, we are aware that comprehend is missing literacy and reading. For comprehend languages, that was simply oversight on our part. It will be included and revised accordingly. Lots and lots of feedback and discussion about how damage works in 4E. It is noteworthy that the staggered condition should result in incapacitated if a character takes a second staggered condition. That is not currently clear. It will be made more clear. And as far as the universal concern over the stunned condition is concerned, it has been heard very, very, very loud and clear, and is being looked at. And in general, we are looking at damage as a whole, and the whole thing, because there's a lot tied up in that, obviously. But we're taking a very close look at it. For folks in the Cape and Cowl Club, odds are good there will be a damage discussion at some point in the future. Number of folks have noted that the deflect effect could use some clarification. That has been noted. It is likely that swinging from enhanced movement is probably going to get broken out as its own movement effect because of the way movement effects work in the current draft. It actually makes pretty good sense to do that rather than tying swinging to a character's ground speed. Similar, related to damage, the considerable amount of feedback on regeneration and immortality has been heard. And those are both very much under review. Folks in the Cape and Cowl Club have already seen some discussion about other versions of regeneration and immortality that we're looking at. And we will continue to tinker around with that to get it so that it's where it needs to be. Let's see, the effects objects extra is being closely looked at. There are definitely some considerations in terms of the way certain effects deal or interact with objects, especially weaken and a number of other things. And so we're taking closer looks at that, as well as we're trying to refine the language that involves characters who are lacking the stamina ability, but are not necessarily considered objects for a lot of things, because that's a fairly severe punishment to a character who's already got a disability. There have been concerns raised about the area effect being too small. I can tell you that line area will most definitely be increased in size. The others we're looking at. But the general concept was that area effects in 3rd edition were too large. So we'll see if we have overcompensated so far as that goes. But we're taking a look at it. And not a lot of notes in the equipment chapter to report. I've got a bunch of typos and minor corrections and the like, but nothing of any great substance to cover so far as that goes. And then in the action adventure chapter, we've covered a number of things like damage and the like that relate to earlier chapters. We've registered the broad dislike for recovery checks and are taking a closer look at that and whether or not they're necessary. In fact, I can tell you that one of the general things I intend for my next pass through the manuscript is pretty much to look at almost everything and say, is this really necessary? So if I can cut some things out, I probably will be. There was a question relating to the language, the original difficulty class in overcoming impressions. And the intention as it was written was that it was the original interaction skill check total from the opposed check. There's been some concern that means that high check totals in that case may be too difficult to overcome. So we'll be taking a look at that and see if that is a significant problem, and if so, how we want to address it. Likewise, there have been concerns about about combining attack maneuvers, and we will be looking at that and seeing if that is something we want to change or address accordingly. There has been a desire for more detail on the block action in relationship, particularly as it relates to deflect. We'll be looking at that. And various feedback and notes related to all of the various conditions in one form or another, and they will also be under review. As I said up at the top, this is just the highlights. There is a tremendous list of other things that have been noted. So if I didn't get to your specific thing, we did read it, we are taking note of it, and we are evaluating everything in light of it. And that is the current update.
Lovely. Sorry, I'm digging around. Excuse me. I'm digging around on the internet,
sure.
Looking at something. But let me see. Let's queue up some of these questions. I've got. Okay, we talked about lists and indexes. Oh, Michael, I was going to mention to you, it would be helpful, I think, for context, if you maybe dropped a note in the tank as to, if there was something you came across that you thought would make a good
list or
table.
index.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let us know. Simon Wentworth says, I can imagine having expertise in mythology in general and a specific mythology skill where checks requiring the specific mythology skill have a lower DC as you can actually know your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think that would be the case for if that was a common occurrence in your personal campaign world and you could add it to the skill list.
Yeah. And that's going to be true of a number of things in the game. Why we talk about things being uncommon or common is that it's very relative.
Mm-hmm. Got you. Kingstar says, this has almost certainly been mentioned, but the character creation chapter mentions attractive advantage, which is not in the advantages chapter.
We are aware.
Gotcha.
For folks who are just tuning in or care, the attractive advantage is out. It was cut from the game. I never liked it, to be honest. And I think it's problematic in any number of ways. So if you want your character to be especially, interesting to people, buy up their interaction skills.
Gotcha. Michael in chat says the deflect effect is quite the tongue twister.
Isn't it though? I will tell you. I will tell you one of the great challenges of game design is trying to avoid coming up with phrases like resistance and the defense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The deflect effect text is hard to perfect.
Yes, yeah,
right.
Yeah, you don't want to reject. Let's see. Kingstar says, I do like how Safe Fall can be bought separately or as part of swinging.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice. Cool. Angel asks, how high in points is weather manipulation?
That depends on what you mean by that. If you're talking about mostly what we're referring to as the environment effect, it depends on how big an area you want to affect and how extensively you want to be able to change it when you do. It can get pretty expensive if you want to be like, I can change the weather over, 100-mile radius pretty much any way I want. Versus I can make it cold here in this, range that's about, 30 feet away from me.
Gotcha. Yeah, and Angel, clarify if you need a little more info. Owen Casey Stevens is in the chat. Hi, Owen.
Hey, Owen.
Says,
we love Owen.
We do.
Yeah, we do. If you're taking questions, what changes come directly from Alex's and Steve's expenses, writing or running M&M experiences?
I think that's experiences, yeah.
Writing or running M&M 3rd edition adventures.
Well, I think almost everything I do is impacted by
it.
how much I run M&M, because I run it all the time, at least once a week for the last 8 years. Specifically, I think reactions really grew out of sort of the natural way combats feel like a conversation instead of everybody get in a line and then we'll take our turns. Mm-hmm. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I rely on Alex's expertise in that regard because Alex runs Mutants and Masterminds more than anyone, including me. And so he has a lot of field experience, of how it plays at the table. Certainly a lot of the modifications are based on things that I have thought about or experimented with over the years from my own game experiences. And interestingly enough, some of them work okay, and some of them didn't survive the alpha playtest. So, a number of them, ideas I had were also universally disliked. So they are not currently in the game, and that's fine because not every idea is a winner, and especially because there's no one true way to do an RPG. That is a lot of what is what feels to people like Mutants and Masterminds, and that's a definite factor, and that's part of the reason why we're doing this playtest, is to get a sense from people of, oh, well, this is interesting, but it just doesn't feel like M&M to me, for example.
Yeah. That makes sense. Alex?
I would say the one thing that directs this playtest feedback most beneficially is reports from games being played, because seeing the rules in a vacuum, they operate a certain way, but sometimes you run into weird interactions, or one thing leads into another one that you won't notice by looking at the big picture as much as you're looking at moment-to-moment gameplay.
Yep, indeed.
Got you. Tempo says, regarding the story canon, do we want to touch on that at all?
Nope.
Okay, then we'll move along.
We do not.
Sorry, Tempo. Great question, but we're not ready for that yet.
Not yet.
Claude says, super solid update. It's cool that you do these little updates at all. The ability to get face-to-face with the devs of a game is really cool. Thanks for being so open. You're welcome, friend.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did the deflect effect deflect the effect? I reject that, says Devious. Put that in the tank. Put that in your feedback. In the feedback hub.
Do not put that in your feedback.
That reminds me of when we were going online with Catalyst at Gen Con.
Right.
And I said, Betty bought a bit of bitter butter, but it made her batter bitter, so she bought a bit of butter. And Steve was like, oh, one of you was a theater kid.
I love that. Let's see how. Oh yeah, some discussion about attractive people being schlimbocked. Sorry,
yep. Sorry,
only
attractive
the
people.
mugs.
Sucks to be you.
Sucks to be you. Finally,
for once.
Gene asks, is there a way to set up archetypes at different power levels?
There potentially are, and Alex, as folks will see when they see Vigilante's Handbook, Alex has come up with an interesting format for variable power level characters. I'd like to take a closer look at it. My only concern for it is that it is one of those things that involves some math, because it's a lot of notation of this character has this at PL +2, and so it produces a very flexible stat block, but not a very immediately usable stat block until we figure out a way for books to do math for you. At which point, then we win.
Right.
But
that'll show him.
So you can certainly do, archetypes at different power levels, and we've done that for years in our different books. Where some books like Hero High will have lower power level characters, and some books like Cosmic Handbook will have higher power level characters. But to present archetypes that are sort of scalable, in terms of you can pick a power level and plug it in, and that will somehow propagate throughout the archetype. That takes a lot more work, and it's not, like I said, it's not as immediately usable in terms of just grabbing the archetype and being able to play it at the table without plugging all the numbers in. So we're looking at how we can use those different tools to create the most flexible and usable range of options that we can, but we haven't really come to any definite decisions about that yet.
So another quick question here about the removing attractive. Michael, I thought you might have explained this, so it's really me asking this point of clarification.
Sure.
But Michael in chat asks, so no way to do a super charisma power by taking that reference power out?
Yeah, you can still have a very high presence score.
That's what I thought.
Very high interaction skills.
Which is essentially what Void answered. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I mean, all attractive was a small bonus to your interaction skills in a specific circumstance. So, just take higher interaction skills, and you've compensated for the bonus.
Yeah,
perfect.
Or if you really want to be fiddly, you can do enhanced trait.
Right, with a limit
improved
on it.
Skill limited to people
only to people who are attracted to you.
Right, right. There we go. So hopefully, SC Pilot, that answers your question. There's a lot of great answers in chat as well. None that are sticking out as really wrong. You safe. I'm glad I read that before I read it. Let's
paying dividends already, Troy.
Right, exactly. No, we don't have trauma.
Plus, it saves us the headache of trying to say, but which character is attractive when all of these comic book characters are trying to be beautiful humans.
Part of the issue is that attractive is an incredibly subjective trait, and we're trying to deal with primarily objective traits in the game system.
Here's a great question from our friend Owen Casey Stevens, who talks about, one of the things I've loved about M&M is how well it can be adapted to non-hero settings and ideas. I found this easier with 3rd edition than 2nd, and easier with 2nd than 1st. Any sense of how 4E will continue that trend?
I don't know that 4E will necessarily get easier than 3rd to do that. I think it'll be hopefully as easy. I definitely plan on including some customization options in Mastermind's manual that will make it easier to adapt the system to different styles of settings and play, such as a much more violent damage option, and that will certainly be useful to game masters who want to use the system for other non-superhero-y settings. Obviously we pointed out many times, the thing with superhero settings is they have to some degree to cover everything. And so that tends to make them, universal systems by default.
Right.
But the focus of Hero's Handbook is definitely going to be very much on comic book superhero style gaming, and will provide a bunch of options that will allow you to tinker with the system if you want to do other things with it.
Nice. Void mentions that in your list of things you talked about that there's some confusion about deflect and block.
Mm-hmm.
Void's asking, could you clarify what the intention around what people were confused about was?
Not yet, because I haven't written it.
Gotcha.
And I'd rather not just spout off the top of my head about it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because you will be quoted. Let's see. Stan says, don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Hate me because I'm an insufferable jerk.
Right.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Squire says, no more math for me. I moved on with my life. You and me both, friend. I live this mathless existence, and checking account be damned. Bernard says, why did the fighting get pulled out as an attribute in 4E, and what was it replaced with?
Well, it's basically replaced with the attack characteristic, which is a combination of close and ranged attack, which are the traits that were originally assigned to fighting and to dexterity. And it was largely because all of the abilities but fighting were actual traits of people, and fighting was not. Fighting's a skill. And so we decided to make it simpler to understand, we hope, by reducing the number of core abilities and pulling fighting and defense into their own things, and make it simpler so that characters can also just have a flat fighting or a flat attack and defense score. There are obviously a lot of customization options where you can be specialized, in a particular type of attack or a particular type of defense. But for a lot of characters, the shorthand is much simpler to just say they're, attack 8, defense 10, done. Simple. One hopes.
Nice. Owen says, I'd love to see archetypes at 2 states. One at a set PL and a second with Alex's notations for PL +2 and so on. And then there's another question I think that kind of attaches to this, and that is, so then Gene talks about asking about archetypes at different PLs, and then the other one that I think folds into this is somebody wants to make heroes at a cosmic level. Will 4E allow for that? I feel like it kind of all falls into the same bucket almost.
Yeah. I mean, I think that 4E will have the same potential to do high power level characters as 3E does. PLs scale up to 20, and PL 20 characters are pretty insane. So honestly, they get pretty cosmic, at like PL 13, much less, way up into the higher power levels.
Yeah.
In an ideal universe, I agree that we would present, archetypes. We would present multiple versions of an archetype, and we would be like, here's, a core version of the archetype. Here's a quick play setup. Here's a variable one that breaks down how it's all put together and allows you to tinker with it. The only issue we run into is then the archetypes each become 5 or 6 pages long, and there are 15 of them currently. And that will very rapidly fill up a book in and of itself.
Right.
We have noticed that there has been an interest in something like second edition's Instant Superheroes, which was basically a big source book of archetypes, and that is something to significantly consider as far as that goes going forward. But in terms of what we can fit into the core rulebook, there's only so much space.
Here's a great question from El Ro, and it's, is there going to be multiple playtest states or just the one?
Well, that depends on what you mean by playtest states. If you mean, are we going to release another complete playtest draft product, the answer is no. We definitely do not have time for that. Right now, the current plan on our schedule is that we're going to keep taking playtest feedback until the end of September. So for basically another 6 weeks or so.
Yeah.
And we are going to keep trying to update you on decisions that are being made when they've been made, so that you have a sense of where things are going. But in terms of being able to completely revise the Origin Edition and release it again, we just don't have the time or the resources to do that.
Yeah. Do you think that I can see us, releasing excerpts or something, especially on game systems that are, if you're, actively out there playing and all of that. But the full blown brand, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and that work has to go into releasing the actual final edition.
Right. Let's see.
Steve, that archetype book just entered my brain, and it needs to happen.
Yeah, we should talk about it.
I have too many other things I'm writing right now, Steve.
Well, it doesn't have to happen now, Alex. In fact, it can't happen now.
No, it cannot happen right now. But that is such a cool. That's such a cool product idea.
We should. I should show you Instant Superheroes. We should go over it.
Yeah,
it was a fun book.
That should be a thing. I'm right. Where's my notepad?
All right,
he's got that notepad out.
Let's see. For those of you who have that on your bingo card, cross off. Alex puts a note in his notebook.
We got to bring that back. The bingo card was always a lot of fun. Master Metapoke says, I personally like the condensation of combat attributes. It was always a pain for me to keep my fighting and dexterity at the same level for my balanced warrior martial artist builds.
Right. And that was basically the idea, is a lot of characters, in fact, most tend to fall pretty much within the same range anyway. And so it was easier to make that the sort of standard and make the other thing the variation.
So Jay Gray asks a question. I'm just going to read it. With this simplicity in mind, why not remove core attributes entirely and just have customization, specialization, and powers, abilities, and skills?
I thought about it. And to be honest, it was one of those bridge too far ideas.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Got it. And then King Star says, and I love the ranged pen advantage is back.
I know, me too. That's actually why it's back.
Nice. Fun. That's great. Sean Vieira just mentioned that maybe there's some need for an archetype book.
Yeah. Very possibly.
So Nate Robbins asks a question. We should at some point in the future do a highlight, a showcase of the third-party folks that are involved in the Superpowered by M&M, and and talk a little bit more about the license in the future and what that will look like. Because nothing's leaving, but new stuff's coming, and we're excited about it. So there are quite a few people out there doing the thing, and the fact is, go to Drive-Thru-RPG, which is where all that stuff lives.
Yes.
And do a search, and you'll find it.
You will find a lot of M&M product.
So much. It's really great. So do that for me, wouldn't you? And I think this feels reasonable to me, but that will at some point you release a brief of here are changes to Origin rules to incorporate into your playtest.
We are going to try, like I said, to keep folks up to date on things, as they are decided as much as we can. Like I said, it's not going to be a complete errata list or change log or what have you. Because again, that's a giant project.
Giant project. And besides, you could make changes to something that's still in the works. You still haven't quite.
Yes. But we're going to try and keep everybody in the loop on where everything is progressing.
Yeah. Excellent. Owen is feeling bad for Jacob Blackman, who will need to update all the Superpowered Legends.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we do it. Z Comics asks, is the layout what we are seeing indicative of what the final book may look like? No, sir.
No.
Friend. No friend.
No.
Absolutely not.
It is simply the layout direction that our production designer is taking now. We are also taking feedback on the layout and the design. We have already passed on a fair amount of it. And I know for a fact that elements of the layout are changing. So,
excellent.
We talked about increasing the size of the font. That was a fun conversation.
Yeah, that was a fun conversation.
Yep, Owen talks about being excited for the license info. And let's see. Yeah, everyone's talking about the archetype book. They're very excited about it.
Well, I'm just warning you that the new edition is not coming out until next year.
Right.
So any additional supplementary book is not coming out until after that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly. Edward Reed says, will a few new pieces of art be commissioned for the... Yes.
Oh, more than a few.
More than a few.
I'd say
more than a few. A lot.
Yeah, we recycled some art, beloved pieces for this piece.
And I will note that for the Origin Edition, we used all of our existing art because there was no point in commissioning new art.
No.
Exactly. Putting aside the fact that we simply didn't have time to commission new art. But for the 4th edition books, there will most definitely be new art.
And we've taken a look at a couple pieces that have come in, and it already looks amazing. Yeah, really exciting. Can't wait to show it off.
Stop teasing them and me, Troy.
It's how I live. It's how I find life. Let's see. Here's a great question. Out of curiosity, what made you decide that it was time for a full new edition after sticking with 3, 4, 14 years? Yeah.
Well, largely the fact that it had been 14 years. And because we got to work on Valiant Adventures, which, like DC Adventures, which triggered the last M&M edition, was to be a standalone product and was designed as such, so it allowed us to play around with the system a modest amount. And after Alex and I had done that, we were like, hey, some of this stuff is cool, and we should make it a part of M&M, and so off we were on, designing a new edition.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly right. David Blogg says, where does Hal put a hard cap on the combined 17 Bowman and Arctic Fox pieces?
Y'all are joking, but I did order like 5 to 10 new pieces of art with Bowman in them for Vigilantes.
A Bowman and
Arctic Fox genre appropriate.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I think I only ordered 2 with Arctic Fox in it, and that increases the amount of Arctic Fox art by 300%, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not on the cover of Cold Day in Midtown, I don't think.
No, he's not. But
let me see. I'm looking at all of our... Okay, I think we're pretty good on questions. But here's the thing. This is an ongoing dialogue. Today was just an opportunity to sort of get everybody on the same page and to acknowledge that absolutely all your feedback is being absorbed and then quickly rejected. No, I'm kidding. It's not.
Troy.
We've got a structure coming that will really help folks to kind of track their issue. And a lot of folks bring up the same issue, but they use very different words. And so kind of finding the synthesis, but you will get the latest updates and actually get more questions answered. Go to atomicthinktank.com and check out the feedback hub in the Mutants and Masterminds collection. And you will be able to see all kinds of good stuff. And maybe you can jump in on the compare notes area and debate to your heart's content the nature of being a superhero in this, the world's only superhero TTRPG. I think we've come to the end of this portion of our program. We'll talk about what's in the tank here in just a minute. But first, I want to say, Steve Kenson, what's going on in your world? As though we haven't just gotten.
Well, I am reading lots and lots of playtest feedback.
Yes.
And making extensive handwritten notes in my editing copy of the Hero's Handbook, and then making extensive typewritten notes in various memos that I'm sharing with folks for doing things like this stream. And then eventually typing up and adjusting those notes so that they can get posted on the Atomic Think Tank so that people can know what notes I have written previously in other documents as well as in my editing document before I actually make any edits to my editing document.
Yes.
That's pretty much what I've been doing over and over again.
At which point they will also offer notes. And,
yes, exactly. Yes. At which point, as soon as they're posted, more notes will come in and the cycle will begin again.
Right. I love it. Alex, how about you, my friend?
How about me? What do I got going on? Tonight, I'll be doing my office hours from 7:30 till 10:30 over at twitch.tv/Untold Stories Project, where you can come ask questions and hang out with me while I play Alan Wake 2.
Nice.
And there will be another new episode of the Titan City Serials podcast on Thursday. And I handed in most of my outline for Event Horizon to Steve today. And we've been really chatting about all the fun stuff in store for that adventure.
Also some exciting stuff in the works for that.
Napook asks who my Ursine friend is in the background. This is Dr. Henry Barrister. He is my favorite little teddy bear I play on the Heroes of Tomorrow Mutants Masterminds podcast. He is one half of the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde that is also Eddie Bear. And he is the only character I have a life-sized statue of.
That a life-size statue?
Yeah, this is as big as he is in real life.
Actual size.
I get
Actual size. Yes. Henry and Eddie.
Yeah, Alex, what's your Twitch link?
Twitch.tv/Untold Stories Project.
Okay, gotcha. .tv/Untold Stories Project. Boom. Yes, Stan, you are right. And I do, I will say today I'm feeling a little shaky, but that's just, par for the course. But I'm going to be hanging out with Stan on his program where he doodles a bit. And I forget exactly what we'll be doing, Stan. But what time does that happen? I'm sorry, I don't have my calendar up. But I'm looking forward. That'll be Wednesday. It'll be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to it. I always love hanging out with Stan. And and office hours on Twitch. What time are your office hours on Twitch?
They start in about 28 minutes.
Oh, it's today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lovely. And
you can watch me cry in terror as I get bullied by spirits.
Very nice. Yeah, so check that out, friends. And I think with that, let me try this again. I'm going to try this one more time and see if it works. Let's see.
All right.
Whoa. Do you hear it?
Nope.
That is so weird. Why? Well, I think I'll sing. I'll sing us into the next segment. Guys, Thank you so much for hanging out. Steve and Alex, thank you so much for all the engagement and all of the work that goes into sharing this phase of people in such a public way. It really is. It's a lot of work and sometimes more work than may feel attainable. But boy, we sure have been doing it, and I really appreciate it, and I know our community does too. But yes, so thank you. I will send you two on your merry way as we talk about what's going on the rest of August. Look at this. We've got Mutants and Masterminds Monday, of course. That's today. On this coming Wednesday, there's the Adventure Writing Workshop with Ian Lemke. You're going to love it. It'll be in the tank. Expect links and such here shortly. I did actually drop a link, but I'll do that again, making sure that you get it. In addition, Engine 3 launch event on the 23rd. I believe, is this hard for it? Yes. 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be streaming live. You want to come and hang out, ask some questions, get into it. We're going to have the authors and the contributors of all of the bits and pieces that are in Engine number 3, the Sage issue, which is Simple Age. You'll have to tune in to learn more, but do that. And I promise you'll love it or your money back. The live stream. by Engine, and you will love that, or else I'll give you what for. Then we have Mutants Mastermind again on the 25th. Of course, Thursday Age on Thursday. You know, Thursday Age, the name coined by one Owen K.C. Stevens, who is in chat, and that was a program we started so many years ago that continues on today. And actually what we're doing in Thursday Age now is we've got Ren LeBeau and the Duke in Purple, and we are working on creating it was just a battle map, and then it grew in size and morphed and changed, and now it's a whole full setting. We're having a blast, and the great thing about it is that you get to I see. You get to help drive the development of that space. You're one of the developers with us. Designers and developers come together on Thursday. We will we'll have some polls up and ask you some questions, but it's really fun. As a quick synopsis, we will be on. We are building. It's 2 cities. One's on the back of a ginormous dragon that has crashed into this planet. The other's in the maw, in the mouth of the dragon. But this thing is huge. It's massive. These are big cities on the icy spires of the back of the dragon, and in the mouth, the gaping maw of the slumbering. Is it sleeping? Is it dead? Is it slowly dying? I don't know. You'll have to join us and help us figure that out as we go along. Last episode, we cast some of the organizations, and we're talking about the kinds of characters and things that we need to live in this world to lead the different factions, and it has just been a real blast. So you'll want to check that out. Of course, 3:00 Thursdays, and on the 31st, it's an actual play. Excuse me. It's part 2 of the Chrono Crisis, and so that will be a lot of fun, and we encourage you to come and watch us there. That'll be. I'll get the times out for everybody. It's going to be 2 p.m. The cast may not know this yet, but remember, thanks, Paul. Paul mentions that the world building in Thursday has been magnificent. Cannot recommend it enough. Thank you, Paul. Let's see. What else have we got? You know what else we have? We have our favorite guy, Devious. Hi, friend.
Hello.
We're moving into What's in the Tank. Hey, dude. Good to see you.
Good, but there's no music. Come on, let's do la 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 la. Yeah,
I don't know why.
Yay! All right.
You know what? How about this? This is always a crapshoot.
It worked. I hear it.
Got hanging out in our library, but sometimes it acts weird. So
yeah, I thought you were going to give me a toot, because that's always a crowd pleaser.
It really is. Yeah, people are like, where is that toot? And
we got to have the toot.
Yeah, let me see what the where is that toot? Is it?
Give me the toot.
Is it here?
Give me the toot, Troy.
Ding ding. Is it this? No toot. Yeah, it's broken. But we'll fix it. I'll figure out what's going on with it. We had a power outage and it reset my soundboard.
No worries.
Yeah, right, but anyway, here you are, friend.
Troy, you had food poisoning?
I did. It struck me like a bolt of lightning. I
told you not to eat that gravy.
Yeah, it's some bad gravy.
It was just sitting out there, that gallon gravy boat full of gravy, and you were like, I'm gonna eat that gravy. Well, I'm like, don't do it, Troy.
Sun-baked gravy turns out. Yeah, it's not too good. It's not, it's not good for your body. But anyway, no, I don't know what happened to me. It was interesting. I have, standing meetings on Sundays, and I was going to connect with our friends Don't Kill My Character, and it just hit me like flop sweat and then, I'm presuming it was food poisoning. It has all the markers of it. But, and today I'm just feeling, mildly, vaguely nauseous. I just did. It was so weird. It must have been food poisoning because it really struck me just out of the blue.
hopefully it's
there's not really
already
a ramp
gone.
up.
Yeah, I mean, I know after food poisoning, I'm usually like kind of weak need for maybe a day.
That's why I'm feeling just a little watery, just a little sort of like not the best.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, drink a lot of water because you got to hydrate.
Yeah, so, I'm working on that too. I'm working on that too.
Sorry you're not feeling your best, but
yeah. Well, let's talk about what's in the tank. That always makes you feel better.
Let's do that, sir. Let me go ahead and bring this up. We, or rather, I should say, you have created a brand new space for 4th edition, and it's fabulous. We've retired the Mutants and Masterminds questions, clarifications, and comments because it was a lumbering beast. It had 509 comments on it, and it was great for keeping stuff in one place. But God, it is such an ungainly beast. There had to be a space made for it, and that's what Troy did.
I want to say, a quick shout out, Devious. Thank you for jumping in and creating that thread for folks to dive in and provide their feedback. And our intention was to create this space a little earlier, but there were some mitigating circumstances and things we were waiting for information-wise. Now it's up. But thank you for helping with that for sure. And every bit of feedback that was posted in that thread, regardless of what it was about, has been recorded in Steve's brain. Well, more than recorded in Steve's brain, but it's
archived. We
it is archived.
Archived just for this. So in case Steve needs to go back to it for whatever reason, he can.
That's right.
All that has been preserved.
But we will be utilizing it to help. I'm utilizing it to help sort of format this. It's kind of an approach to gathering feedback, and it will basically give folks an idea of what's in process, what's been sort of put on the shelf for, creative thinking time, and what has been filed away in the archive for not something that we'll be, kind of addressing now. And so making that real clear. Right. And then it'll also give folks the better idea of the delta between what's in 3rd edition and what's in 4th edition, just to kind of help clarify that a bit more. So, Stan doesn't remember, hard seltzer does not count as water.
And just so you know, guys, anything that's mentioned 4E in the Freedom City Library, we moved over to the feed. So
except for exactly. Yeah.
Except for mine, but that's
no. What I mean is, what I was going to say is we're not moving things out of like the Aegis files and stuff. Like we want you to create characters, heroes, and things. Yeah, and
exactly, and that's why we established the new hashtag. Well, it's not really a new hashtag system, but we have implemented the 3rd edition, 4th edition, and 4th origin. And until 4th edition comes out, we want you to use hashtag 4th origin to delineate it from the later stuff. But all this stuff, it's all there in the tank in the 4th edition section. In the Freedom City Library, we have The Astonishing Next Gen by Julio Cesar, Nameless Universe by Silvercat Moonpaw, Las Novas, which is great. It's like a California city Dre Lucas made for his Earth Prime campaigns. So it's kind of it's a little touch of LA, a little touch of Frisco, a little touch of everything awesome that's in California. And I did a thing about building better investigations in TTPRGs, which is actually basically from an interview that Alex gave on, one second here. An interview that Alex gave on the 4th edition, but he also really dug into, and I really appreciated his insight on building investigations, on how to do that. Load bearing clues, quantum clues, things like that. Awesome info. Now, I hear a machine gun shooting at you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I keep meaning to mute myself, but I was furiously typing.
Oh, no worries. In the Aegis files, good Lord, of course, Chris Davies, the maniac, the psycho machine of character creation that he is converting all, he said he's going to convert all 800 of his characters. 800. Can you believe
800? That's incredible.
God. Converting them all to 4th and he's doing the thing, putting 4th origin on them, hashtag 4th origin. Fantastic. We've got a number of other people in here. Clay made a character, and Silvercat Moonpaw made Clay. Matt Mabray, of course, bringing it like he always does. Jacob Blackman
in the tank. The Red Gargoyle.
Woo! Welcome, sir. Looking forward to all that you have to bring. You rock. Just look at all the Aegis files.
Now, these are labeled in the. Oh, I see. You got them there. Okay, great. I was just wondering if you. I see that they say 4E by them, which is nice.
Well, the 4E is something that Chris Davis is adding to his in the title.
Oh.
In the actual thing, though, they should have the hashtag. So if you go to Aegis files, you can type hashtag 4th origin, and everything that is specifically for Origin Edition will be brought up. So great tool.
Yeah, we should probably clarify, make that, Thomas says 800 is wild. We should probably clarify, so 4th edition will just be 4th edition. I mean, it's not like we're making characters only for the Origin Edition. So we should make that hashtag 4E or something, just so folks know.
Well, no. We wanted to delineate between 4th Origin because the rule set is going to be different in a year from now, whenever they finalize that. So when that comes around, 4th edition, that will be 4th edition.
We'll have people redo them again.
Yeah, because he wants to redo them, so I'm not going to stop him.
No, I mean, we couldn't stop him. I don't think we could if we tried.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
all right, awesome.
Upcoming events, we have this one, and of course you've got Tanked. It's a really light week, but we had such a good time last time on Tanked.
Stan stopped by, regaled us with tales of the past.
Between Steve and David Bullock, it was like going to a museum of TTRPG history.
And also just the real tea on stuff that you've heard, or it was a lot of fun, and you just never know who's going to pop up. So Office Hours with Troy is a blast, and it's not just the time for story time, but it often is, and that's okay. It is also time for friends and folks to, maybe I owe you something. Maybe I owe you some money. No, maybe I owe you a something on the to-do list that needs to be done, or you got an idea, or you're about to live stream, or you just want to hang out with a bunch of cool people who are talking about ring running games and opportunities, and then cap it off with a very interesting deep dive into something. It's just a lot of fun. I mean,
that's where we heard a lot about the Golden Squad. That's where we heard a lot about the home brewery and what David Bullock was putting together for folks who want to put out things that have that same look as M&M 3 for their products. It's where we've heard about the thing going on down in KSC, the Kennedy Space Center, with that group going down there. I apologize, I forgot her name. Can you remind me?
I'm sorry, will you say that again?
The things going on down in Florida with the group. Happening at KSD, the Kennedy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and just hearing about the convention and stuff like that they're putting on. It's fantastic. Absolutely.
So just for you popped it. Oh, it was you that popped it up, I believe. That's not it. That's not it. Hey, so pop up your sign for Thursday, because I think it says Pacific and Eastern on it, I believe.
On the
for Thursday, was it me?
Thursday. I don't have Thursday.
But for Thursday office hours, I see. There are two different times. Yeah, the two different times are Pacific and Eastern. Show the art you have on that.
Doing it right now.
Can. Yeah, Bernard, this is a Florida group. I think I talked to you a little bit about it at Gen Con, but it's a group called the Space Coast Adventurers Guild, and they are a cool group of people that they do actual plays, and they take over like kind of a WeWork space, and they have all kinds of games going. They have lots of events. They have resources for people looking for group, all kinds of good stuff. Highly recommend. Claude says Tuesday night there's a talk back episode for Don't Kill My Character. Look at the Eclipse. The cast will be answering questions and talking about their experiences with the miniseries. Awesome.
Send me that information, Claude. I'll put it up in What's in the Tank. I can still edit it and get it in there for you.
Yeah, I apologize for this, but if we have episodes dedicated to M&M and Age, how about one for Orc? And Swords of the Shadow Planet. Well, the last
Send us
one.
The info.
We're not talking about there's we may do a special shout out episode. Maybe we'll play or something for Orc because people enjoy it. And maybe we'll do something. But yeah, Orc is an early game that was published.
Okay.
Yeah, and Swords of the Shadow Planet. I don't know what you're talking about. Is there a Swords
What
of the
is
Shadow
Swords
Planet?
of the Shadow Planet, Troy? What is that?
I don't know.
Tell me more.
Know.
Oh, okay.
It's not out.
Oh,
it's not Sword Chronicle. I know exactly what it is he's talking about, and so does he. But Tempo, that's an interesting idea, and I acknowledge that Orc would be a fun stream that we should play around with. But it's an older product that we just haven't really talked a lot about, as a matter of fact. And I have not seen Orc as a game. So there you go. Okay. Well, Devious, thank you so much for giving us the update on what's in the tank. The
rundown.
I am feeling run down, but always fun. I feel a little more buoyant when, after
hope you're feeling better. Definitely.
For all your feedback and all your conversation. What? You say, Why'd you say,
Yeah.
You say,
I don't know. I don't say, Why you say,
I don't say, So friends, thank you very much. Make sure to head over to the Atomic Think Tank. It's atomicthinktank.com, and you can connect with us. You'll have developers' attention, and get kind of, if you want to know what's going on in the world of Green Ronin, and you feel like you keep missing some details, that's the place to go to get the final word. And because we're all hanging out there having fun, right?
Exactly. Oh, and don't forget Twitch tonight, a little while from now, Untold Stories Project. Alex will be playing Alec Wake and talking and everything, just having a good old time.
Yeah. It's always fun to hang out with Alex, and you get to watch him, scare himself to death, which will be, I think, fun.
Hilarious.
Yeah. All right, friends. Oh, you know what? I forgot to bring up the great grand gravy, greasy granny party, which is basically, friends, Nate has added. You can add 2 stories to the event. Nate, there's got to be a link, and I'm so sorry, friend, I do not have it handy. But jump into the tank, and you will be able to see. You will find it. So basically, essentially, you are creating a hero, and you are submitting it, and it will go into a bracket-based combat. And who will win? We don't know. But folks,
I don't know. But hey,
fun.
Nate, if you can, put it in the public forum again, all about the contest, so folks know. Appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll tout the heck out of it. But that, I think, is the end of our program. Thank you so much, friends. We will talk to you next Monday, of course, and come back for Thursday. That's this Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific, whatever time it is in your time zone. Bye.
Troy, feel better. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.